The grand final! Well, we got two of the usual suspects in the grand final again. The Hardos are going up against Team Wah once again. And these fuckers switched sides on me. Unbelievable. You know, you trust them. You sit there and you have some trust in the players and you're saying like, you know what, they know what they're doing. They know the drill by now. These teams have been around for such a long time. I don't really have to worry about something. And then they all of a sudden just switch sides and you have to fix your overlay. It's unbelievable. So yeah, yellow card immediately for both of them.
Nope.
What do you mean nope? Do they get a yellow card or not? Okay, then they don't get a yellow card. Maybe I should have paid attention. Could be both. Hachi. Karma hitting immediately. So, Tomb of the Spider Queen is our first map in the best of 3. We're in qualification tournament number 8, the grand final. Once again, the two teams coming up against each other here. The last 4 tournaments were all won by the blue team. By Team Wah. Our little crybabies over here. And funny as it is, if today the blue team wins the tournament again, then both of them are at exactly the same amount of points in the leaderboard. Both would be at 57 points. Currently, we have 50 points for the Hardos, 47 points for the blue team for Team Wah. So that's pretty much what's going on here. Kerrigan gets banned. I mean, you can already tell that here in Tomb of the Spider Queen, we have very different ban patterns than we've seen in the previous ones. They're also dancing a little bit around Zelia's... I mean, Zelia's playing frontline right now for his team. Masquerade isn't here. On vacation as far as I know. So Zelia is currently filling in on the tank role, and he has been playing a lot of around the Nubarak. So normally you see Zagara banned out, you see Vala banned out. This time both of them make it into the draft, and of course they get divided right away. One for each. It's the blue team that takes Vala, the Hardos they take Zagara, but with the preference that Zelia had in a lot of the games that he played for Nubarak, they're taking some of the heroes away that are really good around Nubarak because they also don't want to give him the opportunity to combo off with Stukov with another hero. And Benny is going for his variant again. Okay. So, Benny is going for variant, and we have Copenhagen and Urel. That's a very solid front line. Kerrigan banned too, so no follow-up on the stuns there. But that's a pretty decent start. And that can keep Zagara safe. Now, keep in mind that the last couple of times that the Hardos went off against Team Wah, they lost. The blue team is insane. They're absolutely insane. They're insanely stacked. You can say the same thing, of course, about the Hardos, but it seems like right now, Team Wah is just a little bit stronger. But it's real fun seeing the two go up against each other because it's always close, and you always, even in a game where one team has a lead, you always feel, okay, there's this one moment, if they just win this one fight, if they just get the next objective, it could all flip. So that's what we're looking for here. There's the Nubarak ban after all, so since the blue team didn't lock him in early, they ban him out as well. So this is really just targeting the type of composition that the blue team has been playing, not only in this tournament, but also in the previous one, especially with Zelia in the main tank role. Blaze gets played. Zelia has also played Diablo. He's been playing ETC for the team. There it is. ETC gets locked in. And that's a lot of CC that you'll find on the blue team side with Blaze's Jet Propulsion, ETC's Power Slide, Malfurion follow up on the route. Now, Varian, of course, can also lock you down with a taunt easily, which he will. But what exactly are we going to get from Nick in particular? That's the bigger question here now. Do they play with a triple frontline? Are we going to get something aggressive? Maybe a Maiev or something? Or are they going to go for a second damage dealer and just add a support on top of that? No, they go for the damage dealer. Tychus and Ana. Alright, so we had the Zagara, Tychus, and we got Ana. And the last pick coming in, what are we going to get here? Azerite, as the last one to choose, has to complete the composition for the team. We already got the front line. But we need another damage dealer. Or another melee that can help to keep Vala safe, that can also chip in a bit more damage. So that's another one. Okay, it's Orphea. So they go for Coffin Girl. We got Dino on Vala and Orphea played by Azerite. And well, with that, we're heading into game number 1 of our grand final at the 8th qualification tournament. 8 out of 10, so only 2 are left after all of this. Tomb of the Spider Queen is our first map. Let's kick this off. Game number 1 of the best of 3, and well, as it turns out, the team names are not only changed on the other setup, but also here. Who would have thought? Now, either way, on the left side, we got Team Wa. They're going up against the Hardos, of course. And right now, it is Dequaza played by Blaze. As you can see, we have Zelia playing ETC, Dino and Vala, Azerite on Ophia, and Gia is playing Malfurion. On the right side of the map, in the meantime, Hardos and Zagara. We got Copenhagen for the Hardos with Urel, Yazu on Anna, Nick on Tychus, and Bad Benny is back on his Varian. Which is kind of funny to me because for the longest time, he picked nothing else. I mean, nothing else, unless the hero was banned. So it's kind of funny to now see him back on that hero. Like in those days, they played specifically the killer composition with Varian, Stukov, and any kind of burst follow-up that they could find. So, yeah, we'll see what they're going to get there. Anyways, top side, that's where we're sitting with Azerite and Hazu on our first 1v1 lane, so to say. At the bottom of the map, this is, of course, where the real side lane gets established. And in the middle of the map, Zelia is attempting to control the turning point and therefore also the rotation of the red team as they have to move past here and find themselves under constant threat of ETC locking them down with a decent power slide. No real surprises on the level 1 talents, a little bit of action happening at the top. And Hazu is in immediate trouble. And oh my god! That could have been a kill, and Bad Benny is also in a huge amount of trouble here. Yazu is just keeping everybody alive. That's insanity. I mean, holy hell. That was clutch. That was real clutch. That could have been the end of at least Zagara, but maybe even Bad Benny too. Massive aggression from Team Wa from the get-go. And normally on this map we're of course talking about how strong the Hardos are here. But the last few times that they faced off against the blue team on this map, they lost. So who's going to take the first game of this series? That's the big question. Because up to this point at least, the aggressive plays are being made by Team Wa. They are the ones in the driver's seat. And we'll see what else we can do right here. Down at the bottom of the map, as you can already tell, we're currently having Copenhagen just trying to go for the camp, but Dequaza sniffed it out already. Hazu has to play it very, very carefully, topside. And level 4 talents are kicking in. I mean, at the end of the day, nothing really happened just yet with a couple of aggressive plays, but there's no real consequence of all of this yet. Down at the bottom of the map, this is going to change now, though, because... No way! The only thing that could have been better here is that he actually takes the camp. Copenhagen, though, gets completely ganged up upon, but he dodged out on everything and made it out. Now, the one hero that couldn't dodge anything was Ophia. Coffin Girl is eliminated. I always knew that Varian had a thing for schoolgirls, so yeah, him coming in and taking Ophia down, that's a little bit... I mean, I don't know, but I think it's a little bit... Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. So, Nexus lore, by the way. That's really going to put heroes on the mobile landscape. If we just had some Nexus lore, people would be really interested in all of this. Kira and Ophia, yeah, those are the characters that we really needed. Okay, so Dino is down, and that is kill number 2. Look at that, the Hardos with a quick double kill, and also 26 gems that they turned in. Nicely done. So that gives them a bit of a lead. We have, by the way, the Master Assassin, and they're stacking that too. Master Assassin obviously gets taken because you want the passive. It's not because you think that you can complete the quest. So if you can complete it, that's a bonus. But it's all about the passive, since it also helps you with Odin quite a bit. So yeah, there's that. But either way, we have a slight advantage for the Hardos now. But of course the red team is by no means out of this just yet. Especially if they can get a power slide connected with Hazu, Zagara might be in trouble here. The creep spat is pretty okay though. So at least for now, Hazu is still in control of the top lane. It's all about the control over the turning points here and what they can do with that. Dino's starting to stack a little bit further. Down at the bottom of the map, Benny is already in a position that he could attack Dequaza and lock him down with a taunt, but they need another damage dealer if they want to seriously threaten Blaze. Turn-ins are happening too. And yeah, there we go. 40 are already connected. Blaze is finally taken down. As I said, they need someone that can do a little bit of damage, and that is our old boy Tychus, the Renegade. That's 3 kills to 0. So that's kind of impressive. 47 gems turned in, 40 gems for Team Wa, And of course, thanks to the bot laner being eliminated, that's a lot of gems that were lost too in the process. So Dino, he is trying to turn in, but it's the red team that delivers first. And the Hardos, they are off to a very, very good start. Not only did they get the 3 kills, they also get the first Web Weaver wave. And that is pretty solid. That's actually very good. Yeah, right now, Gia, Dino, they're all sitting in the mid lane, but we already have another small trap set up in between the 2 lanes. Bad Benny, they have to move into the middle now. Obviously, they're going to try and attack this even further. ETC sliding out, and for good reason. If Bad Benny connects there, it could have been another kill for them. But the question is still, how good is the defense now? They're going to try and at least... Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Careful. Zagara with a very nice hit here. And the fountain was thankfully still up for Azerite. Okay, that could have been an even bigger problem. But... Oh! And that's a kill! They're taking it down! Yasuo with a big blaze here, denying the heals, and now they not only get the kill on Orphea, they are in a position to potentially take the entire fort. Zagara is a monster if you can keep her in lane against structures. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're taking the whole thing down, and the rest of the blue team is coming in to try and defend, but they can't pull it off. And now we have a level 10 ability for the Hardos that they could use to, well, either start and attack a few more structures, or turn the 36 gems in, maybe even invade a camp. They're not moving on the left side. It's not that big of a lead, but they can take the siege giants at the bottom of the map at least. So that is a great start. That's a fantastic start here. And this is, I think, one of the first few times where the blue team finds themselves in some serious trouble. They're not, technically they're not that far behind yet. But there are a couple of worrisome signs in the game. Not a single kill for the blue team. They lost the fort already. They're behind in experience. So those are all indicators that they're going to have a tougher time. But at least they locked the turn-in in. And they also have their own level 10 abilities now. So if they can counter with some serious structural damage, they might bring this back and get some control here. But especially losing gems through the death of Blaze was a bit of a problem. And now we just have to see what they can pull off. Because eventually they also need, of course, to take some of those heroes down. And so far they haven't been able to break through that front line. 10,000 damage for Vala. Still stacking it up a bit more. And there's the slide. Varian gets locked down again. But it's just simply not enough. And Azerite doesn't connect the ult. The good jet propulsion as they're pressuring the middle, but it is Ana that dies. And they try to go for a follow-up kill. They might be able to lock this one in too. Urel is already proving her dancing skills as she got locked down by the mosh pit, and that's another kill. Beautiful. And that is the power of the blue team. Every time you think Team Wah is falling behind a bit and that they're going to activate the crybaby mode, they are coming in big time. Yeah, the good taunt against Zelia. Oh, the Maw! Yeah, I think we're going to see a kill for a kill here. And indeed we do. ETC is down, but the front line got obliterated. Now they're making a play for Tychus, and Nick has 16 gems. Nick! It's Yasuo coming back to save the day for Tychus. The bot lane fort has been destroyed. It's 3 kills to 5 now. And we got a game on our hands, don't we? A couple of the heroes haven't died yet in the entire game, but whew! It's getting spicy here. 20 kills. Sorry, 20 stacks to Vala. 20 kills, yeah. Not quite. No, we're not that far. We have 8 kills in the game, so that's not nothing. But 20 would be overdoing it a little bit, considering that we're not really all that long in the game here. So once again, our battle in the middle of the map. We got 50 gems to 49. Pretty much dead even for now. And the level 13 talents on both sides. Yeah, we definitely got a very, very even match. Once again, ETC sliding in. Zayla needs to be careful. Gets immediately met by a lot of aggression. Spell shield is out too. They get Malfurion though, and that's a problem. Malf is saving himself thanks to the bunker, and Hazu is dead. Segara got murdered. Copenhagen also eliminated. Gets quickly killed here. The tranquility of Gia is keeping the rest of the team alive, and here's the turn-in opportunity. That is a Web Weaver set that they can go for now. Dino, on the other hand, goes up towards the boss with 2 heroes dead on the red team side. They're trying to get all of it. Yeah, they're going for a bit of a more greedy setup, so they have taken the creep tumor down. We got the turn-ins here. They try to delay, I suppose, but the red team cannot really do anything about this because Zagara is now on their way, so is Urel, but oh wow, it's actually not happening. Yeah, they didn't have the kill power. They couldn't kill it fast enough. They just didn't have enough DPS to come in and obliterate the boss in time. So they didn't want to take the risk, and for good reason, because, well, the Hardos are pretty strong. So instead, they just settled for the turn-in. Now it's 5 kills to 5. And they can still attempt to, Zelia, to take some structures down, but not if Zelia dies, and it, the more kill! Yeah, there's the kill, no counter kill. Azerite gets also attacked, might even lead to a second kill. He is getting away, but that is an unfortunate situation now for the blue team. They have the Web Weavers on the map, but it's a 4 versus 5. And that, of course, spells trouble. Azerite misses the setup against Hazu. They're trying for the lockdown. They can't. Zagara is waddling her way out of the fight. But what is Ana doing? What is Yazu? Uncharacteristic positional mistake by Yazu. And he gets punished instantly. Ford in the mid lane is in trouble as he gets attacked by the minion wave. The Web Weavers are already down. Then again, Blaze falls up at the top. I mean, what's happening here? Ford in the mid lane is destroyed. They're still doing damage topside, but this is just all over the place now. People are playing everywhere here. 7 kills to 6, level 15.5. And boy, this is a weird setup. So Blaze is down. Ana is about to come back into the game. 75 gems though for the Hardos. 75 gems. So, yep, there we go. Alrighty, so Azerite is already sitting tight. But there's another camp taken. And now with level 16, they might be able to finally turn their gems in. Now this is obviously one of those weird situations also where you haven't really turned any of the gems in yet. And that can be problematic if your opponent is able to force you into a fight, especially if they're now picking up level 16 themselves. Yeah, but Benny is already here. It's always a danger that you're losing your gems and therefore your ticket back into the game. As long as they haven't turned anything in yet, there's still an opportunity for the blue team to force these battles. But if you take the fight, you win it, and then you turn in, and you're in a great spot. Dino with a perfect vault here. Saw Urel coming and dashes out. 16 versus 16 now. The imposing presence is in. Manticore too. Dino is just dancing around it again. He has all the wave clear right now. But this time he gets hit. His time he gets hit and he's dead. Counter attempt and no, the ult! It doesn't connect. Once again, Hazu gets away. How? Ana is low. Ana, no fucking way. They can't kill anybody. Varian is dead and there's the Ana kill. No! Zagara is down. So is Orphea, Yazu, Granny. Look at Granny. She's still on the run. Tychus is dead too. And he is maybe gonna get out after all. They're sliding in. They're chasing her. Granny on the cyber dog. Okay, finally it's the... It's not happening, but it was still cool. What the fuck is happening there? They're delaying the kill even further. 66 gems are still held by Copenhagen. That's the one that they needed to take down. Yeah, the gems got recovered. Now, again, it's not all the gems. They lost still a few, but this is still insanity. We have 10 kills against 9. Now they can go for the boss and they're gonna try. Likely, Urel is attempting a turn in, and then they can trade the boss defense for that. But we already have Hazu sniffing this out, and it's just a bit crazy. 44,000 damage by Zagara, by the way. Ana is still not here, is still dead. But they are trying to go for Zelia's ETC, and they get him. And now it's a 4 versus 4. What the fuck is going on here? I mean, the boss again not taken. Can these people just like commit as a team? It's getting bonkers. They're going for Benny, and they get Benny. Kills everywhere. Nick gets attacked, and in this case, the ult wasn't even too bad for Morphea because it zoned him away from his only escape path. So all of a sudden, it's 12 kills to 10. It's level 19 versus 18. Dino, for the 3rd time now, is trying to take that boss down. Hazu gets attacked. He needs to be very, very careful here. He's on the squishy side, and without Varian to protect him, that's a problem. Dino, can he finally take the boss? Zagara is helping a little bit. Look at that. Zagara is helping with the Banelings. Dino's just dancing around it. And this time they're going to finally grab it. Alright, alright, alright. So they're going to get the boss, and they will be able to push with level 20, I suppose. And as long as Copenhagen doesn't turn in, I mean, Urel is on 74 gems. A goat's best friend. All those gems everywhere. So the boss is taken, and well, there's a level 20 push now coming. That top fort is 100% gone. Orphea has protected the bottom turn-in point to ensure that nobody can turn in, and now they can fully push with this. Can easily push with that. But we have 22 kills in this game. The Maw on Blaze, and he bunkers up. Blaze bunkers up, and Hardos in trouble. Hardos in trouble, gets healed up again. Nano boosted too, and makes his way out. But the problem is that nobody is defending the boss at the top. So that's really an issue. We are 15 minutes into the game already, and with the help of Vala, they can burst through that wall easily, and then the keep will take damage. Now, I don't think that the blue team can take it completely, but it should still take some damage. And if they get a kill here, then of course it's even worse. Imagine an ETC power slide with a good mosh pit behind it. So, yeah, the Hardos, they're falling behind again. And there's still 2 forts standing for Team Wow, which makes it even worse. Zelia, they help him escape by taking down the side wall, and with the help of Tranquility, they can slowly make their way out of the fight. 87 gems for the Hardos. 38 for the blue team. And they're trying to turn in now. Turn the gems in, play it safe. Even if they lose the next fight, as long as they turn in everything that they have, they can secure that. And here's level 20 versus level 20 now. That gives us the Seraphim. Tyrant Maw should be the next one for Zagara. It's at least what we're seeing most of the time. And nah, not in this case. We're getting the Pack Instinct right here. Okay. So, a little bit of a damage increase that they have with all of it. And talking damage, where are we sitting now? 65,000 for Zagara. Hazu! Ho 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 ho! That could have been a kill, but the jet propulsion didn't connect. And here comes Odin. The big red button. Red team needs to turn in. Hardos need to turn in. But they just used Odin. And now Nick doesn't have that as a tool for the next fight anymore. So they might have to fall back and might not be able to go for the turn-in just yet. Hazu is also getting over and over again pressured by Vala. I mean, it's pretty much both of them going at each other's throat here. Don't even know if Zagara has a throat. Yeah, probably. So, yeah. And Dino is really starting to chunk out the damage too. Hazu, again, time and time again, he is the target. He is the squishy. But Yasu is doing such an incredible job now to also keep everybody alive and topped off. He had a few mistakes with his positioning, but there were also a lot of dives into the backline, especially with the jet propulsion. So things didn't always go super smoothly for Anna. She died 3 times in total, but there are so many incredible saves that Yasu made, so he more than made up for all of that. Now it's still 42 turned in gems, and the Hardos are now on the triple digits. They have 108 gems, 109. Yeah, they go for the 1-1-1, and they need to go for the turn-in. It's pretty much, they have a double turn-in now. They got a double turn-in. If they get the double turn-in, then they can easily snowball this hard. But there's always the danger that Team War locks in a turn-in themselves. And it's really, really difficult with all these interrupts for the Hardos to engage into that fight. And it's getting more difficult if they're losing someone here. Tranquility is used. Very early commitment by Gia on this one. Urel is jumping in. There's the taunt. Vala. Ooh, strafes away. They get the kill. Do they get the double? They do. 2 down. The front line eliminated. And now it's the end of it should be the end of Yasu, and it is the end of Yasu. Orphea died as well, but now they're making a play for Nick. He's trying to take Vala down. He can. Odin, don't dance. There we go. That's a 5-man wipe. 5-man team wipe! And now they can go down to the bottom of the map, maybe even end the game. There's a full-on web beaver set is coming. Guys, all of the gems got lost. More than 111 gems just got lost. The Hardos lost their ticket back into the game. And I think it doesn't make a difference anymore anyways, because they're gonna lose the game right here, right now. With 18 seconds left until Urel is back, this is over. 96,000 hero damage from Hazu, but it just wasn't enough. They lose on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Once again, the gems are gone, the hopes and dreams of the Hardos are gone too, as Team Wa steps over them in game number 1 of the grand final. And we are heading straight into game number 2.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2! Guys, the red team, they got murdered there towards the end. It always feels so bad. You have so many gems. You have a theoretically, you have a double turn-in that can just change the entire dynamic of the game. And what happens just as you fight for the turn-in, you lose, your entire team dies, all of the gems are lost, and your opponent snowballs it towards the core. That's exactly what happened, and it just seems that Team Wa is too strong when they go up against the Hardos. It's incredible, and they're just doing exceptionally well. It's honestly, it's fantastic. So, yeah. Yeah, in the meantime, while we were waiting for the map to be hosted, we also had a little bit of discussion that I don't want to withhold from the people watching this on YouTube. So I'm actually getting a little bit hungry here. And the first thing that I'm going to do after this, I'm going to get myself a pizza. And especially the Americans might be a little bit shocked to hear that I'm going to get myself a tuna pizza. Because the one thing that I never realized when I was in the US is that you guys don't have that. It's insanely uncommon. Pretty much Americans, they don't have tuna pizza. Whereas in Europe, it's one of the most normal, most common pizzas that you can get, pizza tono, and it's kind of insane. So while I lived in the US, I never noticed it. Once I came back, I was like, wait a second, why did I never have that in the US? And for Americans, it's always weird, but then again, you guys have tuna subs, and you eat those, and it's at the end of the day, nothing else. So yeah, tuna pizza, everybody, with onions. Make it yourself, try it, and thank me later. So, we got Zagara banned this time, and Vala still made it through the draft, but you can see from the ban patterns of the Hardos that they are still thinking about having very similar setups. Oh, well, they're still trying to go for a similar ban pattern. Now, they ban out Anubarak early this time. Last time they banned it on the 3rd position. This time they're banning it on number 2. So they really don't want Zelia to get that hero, especially here in Towers of Doom, our 2nd map. But Nick with Vala already, so they're committing immediately to her as a damage dealer. And we get Dehaka and Brightwing, a double global for the blue team. And I am honestly slightly scared. These guys have been just popping off completely. It's incredible. But yeah, let's see what we're going to get from the red team here. Because again, this has to come together somehow. I want to see what... Oh, Lucio made it through. Huh. I was just about to say what Yasuo is going to be picking, but his Lucio made it through. We get an Uther instead though, so Urel and Uther are in. So we already got the Divine Shield set up. What's the damage that we're getting for the blue team on the other hand? And also, what kind of tank do we get this time from Zelia? He played Diablo, and I honestly can't remember if he played Diablo on Towers of Doom or on Infernal Shrines. It was last week. But either way, Zelia on Diablo was a lot of fun. He had all the angles with this one, so it was kind of nasty. But yeah. For now, we have the ban on Malfurion. Double support is something that they're shying away from a little bit. That's always the threat, that you have the Vala on the other side being supported either by 2 healers or by a Zarya that gets picked then. That's what you're a little bit afraid of. I mean, every single time you see a Vala, normally what the Vala team is going to try and do is set her up as a hyper carry. They banned the hammer. Okay. So they are the ones that are looking at this as like, you know what? They could play hammer too. Let's just get rid of it. Let's just make sure that this is not going to be a thing. It's kind of nice as well, though, because they are respecting, obviously, the blue team a lot. So they think, hey, what is the one pick that we would go for, that we are afraid of, that we don't want to deal with? Is that maybe also an indicator that they're thinking about picking Abathar again? Because that's something that they did previously several times. So that could be a thing. Muradin and Sylvanas. And Sylvanas has push power. Sylvanas is now another one that could be used to take structures down. And I really want to see if the Slugger is being locked in again for the Hardos. They already did it a few times in this tournament. And now the opportunity to do it once again to help out Vala here. Do they dare though? Nah, they go for Medivh. Medivh, oh, kidnap combo. Kidnap combo, baby. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of milk cartons with pictures of missing persons. Stitches with a gorge, hook, gorge, portal, zip, and he escapes. That's how you do that. Straight into the death zone, by the way, to kill them all. Alright, so what do we get as a counterplay here? You don't have the support available any longer, so you can't just go for Anduin and try to help with that. Azerite with Ophia, Coffin Girl once again. Well, the Azerite has a little bit of a schoolgirl fetish, it seems. Kinky. Exactly. So, Towers of Doom, everybody. The lead for Team War. They could log in the 2-0 victory here. We're going to find out if the Hardos bring it back to game number 3, or if if the series ends here on Towers of Doom. Game number 2 in the best of 3 series. Let's go. Dequaza on the left side with Dehaka, the global on the team that will try and control the experience on the side lane. We got Zelia on Murden, Dino on Sylvanas, Azerite on Ophia, and Gia on Brightwing. On the right side of the map, yep, here we go. Hazops on Medivh. So that's always the X-Factor pick, the linchpin in the strategy. Can Medivh stack his baseline properly? Can they keep Hazu alive? Bad Benny on Stitches, Nick on Vala, Copenhagen on Urel, and Yazu on Uther. Not gonna lie, that combo is terrifying, just because the potential plays that you can make with this. It's called a kidnap comp for a reason whenever you see a Stitches with Medivh, because you can really just isolate any target once the hook hits after level 10. After you get your Gorge. It's so easy to play that one out, but if there's a lot of pressure from the blue team, then maybe, you know, they can be the driving force in the game, initiate attacks, and be the one to pressure, and that would change the dynamic quite a bit. But for now, we have stacks clubbing for Vala. She's still the main damage dealer for the team. Dino is playing it out against her. But Benny, he of course is very, very tanky. He doesn't really have the mobility that you normally also want on the frontliner, so it's not like he has like a real escape tool available. But again, the man's beefy. And talking about tanky, he's trying for more tanky. Hungry for more is being locked in by the Hardos on their champs. So yeah, we have some serious potential here. I honestly gotta say that this comp is a bit terrifying. Now, the early aggression, I like what we're seeing from Team War. They're trying to go for early kills here, and they might even get it. Benny is able to escape, but the camp might be stolen. Urel jumped in and prevented it from happening, and they're going for Azerite. And if the Coffin Girl falls, but she doesn't, they have to still retreat. And oh boy, what a battle. Benny tried for another hook, but that did not work out. Could not hook someone over into the death zone here. But of course, it also means that this one hasn't been claimed yet. They instead invested all of the time on the right side to take it away, and they couldn't make that work. But I like what they're trying to do here. They like to be aggressive. But as the game continues and Bad Benny stacks his level 1, it's going to be really difficult to do anything against that front line. I really like what the thought process of the Hardos. I like it a lot. And I think it's going to be very difficult in the later stages for Team War to make something happen. So they have to be aggressive in the early game. Exactly like this. The kill against Medivh. And nearly the kill against Nick too. Barely able to save himself because Yazu was there with a stun. Or it would have been a dead Vala on top of the kill against Medivh. And now the Medivh kill, again, it's very early in the game, so it's not like he had too many stacks on the baseline yet, but obviously it gets reset after all and slows down the process a bit, and that makes it difficult. I feel the danger is really that in the mid and late game, Bad Benny is going to have so many stacks on his level 1 that he is nearly unkillable, with Hazops helping out, and of course Uther also being there for the heals. That's the big threat. And then you need to somehow get past Stitches to go to the backlines, and you have Urel to deal with too. So I think this is a really scary composition that the Hardos are playing here. But time will tell who's gonna be succeeding. Yeah, nice hook attempt, I like that. That was actually a really good helping hand. Nick is still in slight trouble. Was able to make it away. We have 2 against 1 altars now in favor of the blue team. So Team Wa pulls a little bit ahead here, which I like. But Benny is already at 9 stacks. And again, that's decent hit point advantage that he gets with that. The global, that gives Team WA a big advantage though. They have 2 globals, and that means that they control experience. They can always attempt to push the side lanes with the Haka, while the 4-man is pressuring, let's say, the bot lane. Bot lane is still the most important lane, obviously, on this map, simply because this is where the 2 of those pumpkin camps are located, and will then go straight for the core if you control all of the bell towers. But while we're seeing these early skirmishes, keep in mind that a big part of the threat potential from the Hardos composition is going to hit on level 10. When Gorge kicks in for Bad Benny, that's when the kidnap combo comes online. And at 13, he gets the hook increase, the increased range. So that's when Benny can single-handedly decide a fight, but simply getting a good hook through and then, yeah, just murdering it here. Alright, also goes into the second helping. I like it a lot. Now, why exactly is second helping in this situation good? So, first of all, it's all about, I mean, right now it's all about him having survivability. And this is also proccing off the max hit points that he has. So his level 1 and his level 7 have a lot of synergy here, especially as it scales into the late game. So killing Bad Benny as the game continues is going to be very, very difficult for Team Y. If they had a Tychus with the bigger they are, any kind of max HP damage might make things a little bit easier, but they don't. So this could get real rough real soon. Already the attack against Brightwing, and Gia makes it out. Got kind of dangerous for a second, but he's able to escape. Double altar is up. Copenhagen is already getting attacked here, so we got our 1 versus 1 continuing from the top lane to the altar. Down here, Hazu sets up a portal for himself as he's trying to escape, and he should be able to make it out. But Uther's trying again. Blue team locks in the top, so they already have a lead. They could go for the even exchange and just simply let this happen at the bottom, but they're not. Instead, Dino is getting empowered again. They're trying to go for stitches. That might be one of the best opportunities for them till front line. But Benny is able to get away, and Vala is connecting one multi-shot after the next. So Dino, they need to shield him, and it seems like they're going to get this one. Oh, that's a good hook. That's a really good hook. And they isolate Zelia. He's dead, but the shots still get fired. That was the first kill for the Hardos, all initiated by Bad Benny with a hook. He doesn't get the cooldown back, of course, in time for a second one, but still, that one was solid. Now, it doesn't change the fact that both of the altars just went to Team WA. So they are, of course, very much interested in finishing this game a bit earlier. But there's level 10. And this should be a kill on... No, they might be able to get him out. He's torching out on everything, but yeah, that's a kill. Takes them a little bit longer, but they get the kill. So level 10 is in. We got Gorge, and by the way, we got Stun. So they didn't go for the Divine Shield here. They go for the Divine Storm to have even more stuns than they see available, so that they can control the opponent's team. Isolation and Mind Control are going to play a huge role here for Team WA. 19 stacks for Bad Benny, which means that he's looking at well, he's at 20 already. So that's 500 extra hit points that he has. 500 hit points right now. And yep, that's not too shabby. He's gonna be a monster as the game continues. I mean, again, they nerfed the talent a little bit in the sense that they reduced the extra hit points that you get from 30 to 25. But if you have a player that is very diligent, playing around globes, roaming lanes, going for camps, you can get a huge chunk of HP, and you can, in the late game, easily have like 12, 13,000 hit points, depending on how long the game lasts. So it is a huge danger. And we're only 7.5 minutes in, and Vala's also at 43 stacks. It's not bad. And level 13 is unlocking the range. So we'll see if they set the combo up. There we go. And they try with the portal, and that is a dead Ophia. No chance. Kidnap combo right here. Normally when you're going up against a Medivh, you want to have a lot of portal control. We talk a lot in the past about Malfurion with the root, about Stukov with the lurking arm. Anything that you can use to control the portal is incredibly powerful. ETC with a slide can do it too. And that's something that Team WA doesn't really have all that much. So they're a bit... yeah, they're a little bit lacking in that department. Now, they abandon the bottom bell tower because they realize they won't be able to do a whole lot here. And instead they go for the boss up at the top. Which isn't really the worst play, because at least it allows them to put the opponent's score down to 20 points. They are still at 32 themselves, and they have to deal with the talent disadvantage that exists now too. Hardos provides more vision here. He's at 22 stacks, and things are getting really dangerous for the blue team. And the momentum swings that exist on Towers of Doom can, of course, turn the entire game on its head. We've seen that multiple times in the past, and we might see it here. Yeah, hook attempts are incoming. A little bit of a weird engage there too, with the portal and then the hook shortly after, queuing all of that up. Immortal needs to deal with the top camp or it's going to destroy the gate here, but they have a hard time reclaiming the bottom of the map. Now it's 13 versus 13 now, and Stitches comes in, tries for the hook, can't make it land. And there is, again, the move for Bad Benny. But this time they played it really well with the mind control. That's a great ley line, though. Great ley line and a fantastic follow-up on Uther. Ley line into Uther stun. And here comes another one. Dino is down. Orphea dead. Sylvana's dead. The damage dealers are both gone. And they are controlling the top lane. I mean, this is nasty. This is a nasty setup. I don't think that the blue team has a chance to win this. Seriously. The longer this goes, the better the situation for the red team. If they complete the quest on Hazu, if they can stack Vala and Stitches a little bit more, this setup is nearly unkillable with the heroes that Team Wah is controlling. And that's 5 shots fired already. They are getting locked in. They're also going to grab the one at the top. Yes, Zelia can interrupt it. He can delay it. But he's not going to be able to completely deny it. And down to the bot lane, we're going... well, now that Dehaka's moving in, you know what? Maybe they even have a chance. But Stitches is rotating up, so I guess that's going to be a bit of an assist for Copenhagen. He's not going to be all alone up here. And yep, Stitches is already there. Lands the hook, gets the Gorge, and goodbye Dehaka. Dino is pausing the game. And I'm not quite sure what happened, but it seems that, yes, Nick is taking a page out of Ultralisk's book and apparently disconnected here. But this situation is still pretty much what was advertised earlier. So Bad Benny is going to escort Dehaka in here, and then it's still in tower range, gets attacked up there. Muradin also dropped apparently. Ooh, damn, what the hell happened here? Both of them disconnecting. Zelia and Nick. Are they on the same internet connection? I highly doubt that, but something's going on here. Gia's still in play. Now, again, let us go real quickly through the setup. So why is all of this getting so super dangerous now? The problem is really that who is going to take Stitches down? The entire game right now for Team Wah is to try and get through that front line to attack someone like Vala. And you are now in a position where the front line and Vala are both getting supported by Medivh and by Uther. So not only do you have the portal to let someone escape, but you also have the shield to deny some damage, and you have Uther to come in with a stun. So you have a ley line on Medivh into Uther stun as a setup for yourself, and a second setup that you can play around with is of course that you're getting a hook connected, you use Gorge, and then you simply use Medivh to use a portal, and you can increase the distance between you and the opponent's team to isolate the target even further and then blow it up. So you have multiple ways how you can combo those heroes off. On top of that, you have Copenhagen with Immortal, who can the entire time just simply push targets away, create a lot of space for your backline. And while the blue team is dealing with all of that, or at least trying to, as the Haka dies here, the issue is then still that Vala has an enormous amount of space to work with to get hits in. So now another 5 shots get fired, and just like that, we're at 22 points against 20. And they can't even retake the bell tower at the bottom of the map. With 30 stacks on Stitches, that's 750 hit points that he now has, additionally. So that in and of itself is already getting crazy. And we're only 11 minutes into the game. I mean, again, this could be a long, drawn-out game, but we are in a great spot already for the Hardos. And they got level 60 now on the board too, so they're locking in an entire level lead over their opponent that results in an extra talent that they're running here. Pulverize is in, that helps even more with the kill potential. You have Manticore also in play. Pumpkins are making it through the bottom of the map. And while the blue team has to defend, Bad Benny is in a position where he can always threaten the hook. Even if it doesn't hit. I mean, look at how scared they are. They know that a hook could be coming any second. Even if the hook doesn't come, Stitches could just walk up and get a Gorge. And there it is. Gorge, ley line, and they go for the kill. There's the stun. They might not be able to lock it in immediately, but the stun combo is insane. I mean, this is just crazy town what we're talking about now. Another hook, and Azerite is also gonna die. That's 3 kills. That's 3 easy kills here. Drag at the top as we have the 1 versus 1 happening. But now that they're going for the bell tower, I mean, check the kill composition out again. There we go. Zelia gets stunned. The second stun follows up. Vala chips in. And they just have no chance. Absolutely no chance. And everybody's stacking. That's 6 bell towers that are getting controlled by the Hardos. 6 points to 2. They just got out-drafted here. That draft, unless they have some insane momentum that they are getting, some kills that they can get and then carry the momentum, I don't think that the draft of Team War at this point has a chance of winning this game anymore. 2 are already channeled in. Guys, that's 12 points of the core. They're down to 10. They're down to 10. And at the top, they get interrupted. They are going to lose this one too. 16 versus 16. Bad Benny is still looking for another hook. And there's a target-rich environment there. I mean, he can hook to the top. He can try and hit something there. Hardos is just providing vision. Hardos is sitting there and he's just giving them the vision. There's the hook. Yeah, they try to turn it with the Stormbolt here. At least Sylvanas is attempting to hit this. Now with the ley line, can they go for Mirrodin again? Zelia just gets gorged and they're walking away. Portal, baby! And he gets immediately attacked. Now, there's the stun. And Zelia is dead. Zelia is dead. At least the 2 shots were fired because Team War channeled the top. But now, of course, you can go for the boss if you want to. Drop them down into the single digits. But Benny is just YOLOing out these hooks. 6 days to Sunday. I mean, this is pretty much the Walmart special right here. 2 hooks for the price of 1. Whenever it's available, he just YOLOs them out. Those things are a dime a dozen at this point. And if it connects, then you're in a great spot, of course. So that's another 4 shots fired. Bam, they're down to 6 points against 18. The blue team took at least they were able to take those bell towers back. And of course, the gap is not that big. It's 18 to 6. I mean, we've seen more insane comebacks than that. But obviously, if you look at the kill count, then you very quickly get the picture here. 10 to 1? I mean, seriously? And Bad Benny is about to hit 1,000 extra hit points. He needs 2 more globes and then he has 1,000 extra hit points. Vala is already at 66 stacks herself. And Mirrodin, now that he jumps in, is of course attempting to be aggressive with this. But they take the camp. Yeah, here comes the drag. Even that doesn't connect. The only thing that Team Wa can do is be aggressive before level 20 hits. And even that isn't working out. Massive CC. Insane. Rain of Vengeance. Uther stun. And like everything that they got. Divine Storm. There's 12 kills to 1 now in total. Level 20 is on the board. And they can do whatever they want on the map. Pumpkins moved in up at the top and dropped the bell tower a little bit lower. They're already going down to the bottom of the map in an attempt to lock another one in. They have 3 pumpkins that are going to connect here. This might just be game. It's going to be close. I mean, either way. I don't think they can end it right away. Maybe when's the next camp coming up? Minute 20, no. They would have to try and get another kill here and then maybe go topside and take another bell tower. Well, they get the hook. And they might just get that kill. Zelia's jumping in to help the Haka out. But there we go. Gets dragged. Mind control was active there for a second. But yeah, they're still fighting around this. Urel isn't even here. Urel is at the bottom of the map and is still deciding whether or not she wants to channel. And I guess she has to. They won't be able to get a bell tower here. So they can't end the game, but they can drop them down to a single point. And there it is. A single point on the core. 1 pumpkin ends the game. Altar ends the game. Complete control of the bell towers, the barrage starting up, ends the game. You get another boss, game's over. Now, this is looking more and more like the Hardos are gonna bring this to game number 3. And good on them. But Nick is low, but he gets out. Portals, portals, portals. It's just too much. That draft is nasty. There are a couple of tools that you might want to lock in if you can, if you see this coming. Again, as mentioned before, Tychus, for example, can be a big asset if he can chunk Stitches down a bit and then you can follow up with additional damage to finish the job. But as it stands right now, even with level 20 talents, it's going to be an uphill battle. So they're trying to reclaim that. Next altar is spawning at the bottom. So as long as they can hold on to that bell tower, they make it really difficult for Team War to access that next altar. And that's a big, big issue. That's the reason why they want to keep it. Technically, it doesn't matter to them if they have 5 bell towers, 4, 3, or whatever. But they want to hold this because the position at the bot lane where the next altar spawns is going to be so much more difficult for Team War to reach that they just don't want to give up on this one. And, of course, the pumpkins. Another one. Well, there we go. Mind control misses, and that is likely a kill. Good Stormbolt from Xaylia. Very good Stormbolt from Xaylia, but it just doesn't matter. Ophia goes down, stun City Baby, one stun after another, 5 versus 4. Oh, but Uther dies. He has redemption though. Uther died, but he has redemption, and Dino is dead too. Yeah, they're just on the run here. 14 kills to 2. 15 kills to 2. This is game. This is game right here, guys. We're going to game number 3. There's no denying it anymore. What a beautiful performance by the Hardos. Incredibly well played. Copenhagen is channeling. Everybody else is about to commit Sudoku here. Hazorps is moving in. It's already too late. Game is off and done. We're headed to game number 3 in this grand final of the tournament. Game number 3, Battlefield of Eternity, is the final map. And I gotta say, kudos to the Hardos. Beautiful composition that they played on the last map. A great draft that they had there. It was nearly... I don't really think that there was a chance for the blue team to win the game after they didn't take the early game. Now, if they maybe in the early game, get a couple of kills together, gain some momentum, win that first fight on the pumpkin camp, snowball that somehow and get control, maybe they got a chance to really make the Haka shine and then stay a step ahead throughout the game. But honestly, once that the mid game is reached and they are on even footing, the Hardos were even ahead slightly, I think it's just over because you can't kill Stitches anymore, or you shouldn't be able to. But Benny did a really good job diligently taking all of the globes. Hazu was stacking up on the baseline, but even that is not needed all that much. So they just controlled it real nicely. And there was no angle for Team Wa to exploit as long as the Hardos don't make major mistakes, which they didn't. So now we're heading into Battlefield of Eternity. And it was a bit funny as we headed into the lobby because the first thing that Dino says is like, why the hell are you picking this map? We both have no idea what to play here right now. And Hazu just laughed and agreed and said like, yeah, it's kind of true. Battlefield is a little bit of a weird one these days. So we've seen everything here. We've seen, I mean, again, we've seen in this tournament already a single tank, double support, double damage. We've seen triple frontline with only one damage dealer. We've seen the hyper carry Vala, hyper carry Zul'jin with 2 supports behind it. You can pretty much play everything and nothing on this one. Now, on the bans, one of the first things that happens is Lucio gets banned. Yasuo is always a threat on Lucio. Here comes Azerite with Li Ming. I mean, keep in mind that one of the previous games was actually a glass cannon Seeker Li Ming that focused instead of team fight on the Immortal damage, and it worked. So Nick played it, and now Li Ming gets locked in as a first pick instead. But yeah, it's kind of a funny one. And this is the third one. Tracer. Tracer Malfurion. Super early in the game. Yeah, mad commitments from both of the teams immediately. So we're not having anybody dancing around with early picks into, I don't know, supports, your tank, trying to get something together here. But both of them acknowledge right from the start that they're a little bit lost on what exactly is the meta here right now, with all of the changes that came through and with the different approaches that teams took over the last couple of tournaments. So they set themselves up very quickly in what they want to play here. And we have Stukov, so Tracer needs to dance around the lurking up a little bit and get your Rel into. And Bad Benny, I want to see what he plays here. I mean, technically they can still play this with even Varian. Now, there's no frontliner that has been picked yet on the side of Team Wa, so maybe Varian even gets banned, but again, they could pick him themselves, and I think they are going to pick him. Coming through with Varian and a stun, Malfurion as a follow-up, maybe a Blaze behind it for another jet propulsion, and then you have Tracer. That's a great setup already. And you can always, of course, chip in another damage dealer too. So there's a lot that he can go for. Has a lot of points on the line. Both teams have done exceptionally well over the 7 qualification tournaments that we played out so far. Now we're in qualification tournament number 8. Again, keep in mind 2 more are left. So after 10, it's all over. You can't collect any additional points, and the top 8 of the leaderboard will move on to the playoffs, where the teams then will play for the prize money, the 4,000 euros that are in the prize pool. And I have to highlight it again, in case that you missed it, but this entire thing is sponsored by a Private Heroes of the Storm fan that wants to give back to the community. Has been a fan and a player ever since the alpha, beta, has watched HGC, has watched competitive play before HGC, after HGC, and wants to help the scene out here. So that's our Mr. X that sponsors the X Cup. We got a Nuburak and Hanzo now in, so no variant after all, but we get the budget variant, so to say. Offers a little bit more. And Hanzo for the potential arrows again. It's also the Immortal damage that of course he's gonna be chipping in. Yeah, Zelia on Diablo. I like that. Zelia's playing Diablo and we got Greymane. Okay. Yeah, not bad. Greymane, Li Ming, and Imperius. Alright, we are set. A lot is gonna hinge on Tracer here. Nick has to pop off on this one. Guys, game number 3. The series was awesome so far. Let's head into the final map of this best of 3 series. The final of the qualification tournament. Tournament number 8 of the X Cup Summer Qualifiers Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 3. The final map, everybody. Let's see who takes the win on Battlefield of Eternity. On the left side of the map, Azerite on Stukov, we got Team Wah with Dainu on Greymane, Dequaza on Urel, Zelia on Diablo, and the main tank, we got Gia on Li Ming. And on the right side of the map, the Hardos with Hazorps on Hanzo, Nick on Tracer, Copenhagen is playing Imperius, Bad Benny on Nuburak, and Yazu on Malfurion. Alright. We had an awesome one. So we'll see what's going to happen in game number 3. Which team is going to take the lead? I can already tell you that one team is hyper aggressive, looking for the first kill, but they couldn't find it in engage with Bad Benny here. And yeah, all the way up at the top, Dainu, Zelia, and Dequaza. They're currently going for a 3-2 split with Li Ming and Stukov down at the bottom of the map. No talent taken yet for Li Ming. You can say that Gia is without talent. Whereas... Okay, that one was really bad, but it's late. Okay, so, for now... Yeah, they go for the snacky sandwich play against Dequaza, and that's a dead Space Goat. That's a dead Space Goat at the top. Down at the bottom, Hazu is very much alone. And will get a bit of company, but they might have a play against Diablo here. 1 stun, 2 stun, nice lockdown, another stun, Zelia! And he gets out. Oh boy, that was clutch. Zelia barely made it, but yeah, that could have been a kill. That could have been the second kill for sure. Now, anyways, at the bot lane, they're already going for the camps. And Hazu, he is holding the line all alone, soloing with Hanzo, trying to get some damage here. And needs to get away as Greymane is all of a sudden saying hello, and he's not the only one. Diablo is also engaging, and hello, Hazu! He gets away. But that got dangerous for a second. I don't really think that he expected Zelia to make an appearance too. But now that we have a 4 versus 4 on the map, it's again the play for Hazu, and this time he goes down, but so does Diablo. Hanzo and Dibbles, they both die. The cocktail comes in, and Nick takes additional damage, but he is still alive, and it is the blue team that is pressuring this a bit further and takes the entire wall down. So good start for them. Aggressive performance here also with the Underking, and we got the Pulse Generator. Okay, Underking and Pulse Generator are both in play. Dino, Azerite, Gia all going for the camp. And up at the top, all alone, it's Dequaza, the Space Goat. Meh. Actually, I don't even... whatever. So yeah, Space Goat is in, or the Space Sheep, whatever you want to go for. Yeah, and it's time for the first objective. So again, this is pretty much where the pace is going to be set for the game. Who takes the first objective? Who's able to win the fight? How much can you do with it? Are you able to take the entire fort down? So some momentum is definitely going to be taken here by someone. Bad Benny jumping out. Pretty short dive for him, by the way. Hanzo is soloing at the bot lane. Or well, at the bottom of the fight, and is trying to get the Immortal damage in, but here they are really committing. Whew. They nearly took that down. But now that Hanzo is all alone, Copenhagen, and that's a kill. Copenhagen down. Halftime show is taken by the blue team. It's a clutch one, but they are able to get slightly ahead of the Hardos. And Hazops now has to defend all of this down here by himself, and that makes things real difficult because up at the top, seems like Gia is together with Greymin in a very good position to take the Immortal, and that will be the lead for Team Wah. They are locking this one in to kills to 2. That's a decent shield. Yeah, for the first one, I mean, that's 25% on the shield, a little bit more even, make it 30. So they got a shot at the fort top side. Especially if they hit that level 7 talent, but not really a big lead or anything. So first we go. With that, we have the push at the top lane. Down at the bottom of the map, the fort has already taken damage, and that's honestly what worries me the most, that they have pretty much taken a beating on all lanes. So the Hardos are falling behind. Bottom fort, fountain is already destroyed, bottom fort is already a bit low, and Imperius is staying at the bot lane, Urel is saying hello, and they're zoning them out away from the Immortal and the fort, and that means that the top fort is likely gonna fall now. Didn't expect that to happen, but with the earlier level 7 and the tiny window that they had here, plus the rotation of Urel to the top, they were able to take it down. So now the first fort is gone, and the bottom fort is very much exposed. That's a very good position for Team Wah to be in. Are they going to win another tournament? They're inching a little bit closer to it. They're inching a bit closer to another victory. But I'm pretty sure that the Hardos are going to be aggressively fighting for the position here. They're a bit late for the camp, on the other hand. But look at Malfurion, he's in trouble. Same is true for Stukov. He dives first, but both of the supports are gone now. And here's the engage again, and Imperius. Oh, Grave and Imperius are both down. A kill for a kill for a kill with the resets on Gia as he's looking to get more damage connected with Li Ming. And thanks to the camp that they just took, they're threatening the bottom fort. Nick is dancing around, looking for a good engage, but he gets also zoned out by Urel, and I don't know how to tell you this, but the second fort is gonna fall. Yeah, bad news for Hardo fans. Very bad news for fans of the Hardos. This is a fantastic start into game number 3 for the Crybabies. Team Wah is looking at 4 kills to 4, slightly inexperienced, both of the forts destroyed, and that means that both of the fountains are gone too. And that's big. That's actually really, really big. Because that means that you now have to move into the middle and tap this fountain whenever you want to disengage from a fight. Yeah, level 10 abilities, they're going to kick in next. So, well, let's see what we can do. Zelia gets attacked over here and might actually die to all of this. They isolated him hard and he's still taking damage, but they are helping him to stay alive. And there's a level 10, and now it's becoming a problem for the Hardos because they are going to lose at least one of them. Yeah, they're going to lose Copenhagen. Now, they did a better job in that fight than I expected to. The thought process of the red team was obviously to try and get a sneaky kill in before level 10 hits for the blue team. But that didn't quite work. And yeah, now they are in trouble because they can't do anything against the advantage with the heroic ability here. But Benny and everybody else still fine. Seems like Nick dropped again. And apparently the other series that is happening at the same time, the third place decider, also had issues. So it seems to be a Battle.net problem that is currently persisting. So multiple players apparently disconnected and had some problems with that, which is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, Nick came back in the second game with Towers of Doom pretty quickly. So I hope that this is going to be the case here too. And as you can see, it hit Zelia as well. So the same thing happened as in game number 2, and apparently it's some stability issues with Heroes of the Storm right now. At least that's what it sounded like when we had the break and I took a look at what some of the other players were saying about their own games. Now with level 10 abilities, we now have Go for the Throat. That's pretty much because you want to put more pressure onto Tracer. We also have the Lightning Breath in, and it should lead to an easy Immortal. And the danger is that this Immortal is going to have an insane shield, because there's still no heroic ability available for the Hardos, and Team Wah is walking away with nearly a full shield. And that will become dangerous very, very quickly, because we're talking about keeps here. Now, finally, we have level 10 on both sides. So there's a cocoon that's already in play. We currently got the Wrath of the Ingerius, which pretty much means that he's going to turn into a delivery boy again. Imperius works for Uber Eats as a side job. Who would have thought? He's going to try and go for the delivery. You ordered a Diablo? Here we go. Take him down. So, with all of this said and done, the bot lane, that's the focus of the tension now. 5-man versus 5-man. This is really where the red team is just trying to save their keep. Now, the good news is it's only 8 minutes into the game. The Immortal is not all that strong. The bad news is that motherfucker started with nearly a full shield. The arrow, on the other hand, connecting on Stukov, and there's the delivery. Right here. Beautiful setup. Beautiful play. First the arrow, they couldn't see it coming because of the gate. It hit Stukov full in the face. And then Imperius said, well, hitting an standing target, an immobile target with my ult, I can do that easy peasy. And they will save that keep. Now, it's gonna take damage, but they will save it for now. That kill was insane. Because if they kill anybody else, then there's still a chance that Team Wa sticks around and tries to see if they can siege up on it a bit. But with the support gone, no chance for that happening. So, yeah. Up at the top, that's the Quasar holding the lane. We nearly have level 13. Once that hits, the talent advantage is going to help them a bit to control. Are they going to go for the camp? Honestly, I would have said no, but it seems more and more like they're going to try and do that. And yeah, they might. Maybe they just set up a trap. And it's a trap, but they're holding it for now. Yeah, level 13, any second now. There it is. The arrow again against Stukov. I've seen this play before. And this time they're trying to shut it down. Azerite gets away. Imperius wasn't there yet, but boy, that could have been a replay. That could have been a replay of the previous kill. Now, they siege up on this. Diablo's not gonna die here. Is he? Nah. He dashes out and they take the keep. They are taking it. Nicely done. Well played by the blue team. And yeah, there it is. That was a bit closer than I expected. If that stun from Nuburak hit a bit earlier, they might have been able to save it. Now, either way, they're already going for an aggressive stance around the camp. And they are gonna hit it with Urel, I suppose. Yeah, there's the play. Level 13 is still there for them. They're making a move, and there's the lightning breath right here. Awesome. Okay, so they steal the camp away, putting more pressure onto the top lane. Of course, the Hardos need to invest some time to deal with it, and that gives an early start to the blue team in their attempt to take another Immortal down. Guys, this is getting better and better and better for the blue team. Team Wa has the halftime show already locked in. They still have a level 13 advantage over their opponent. They already destroyed the keep at the bottom of the map, and up at the top only a keep is still standing. So now they can go for a quick play right here on the left side. Red team is attempting to defend. It's pretty much the only thing that they can do. A desperate defense now that they have their level 13. But the continuous poke that we're going to see from Li Ming in particular is going to whittle the hit points down eventually. The arrow connects once again, but the cocoon on Urel denies any follow-up. Dino, on the other hand, goes down. Nicely done by Nick. Hazo nearly destroyed too. He's super low and he needs to be careful here. So they're going to go for the race at the end of the day. 28 seconds for Greymane to come back into the game, but the Immortal is once more taken by the blue boys. So this is again a big push, this time through the top lane. At the bottom of the map, Urel is attempting to make sure that those catapults are making it in. One of the big problems that the Hardos have, of course, is that they haven't taken a single fort down, meaning every single wave that Team Wa has at the bottom of the map is spawning a catapult, and they have no counter catapult pressure. So huge problem. Yeah, there's another delivery, but only against the Space Goat. I don't think they can do anything here. Oh, well, actually. Okay, no ult on Urel, but the Quasar's alive. So they were able to save it again. And guess who's back? Guess who's back? Yeah, it's Greymane. Greymane is back to business. So they can open the wall, they can do some damage to the keep. In an ideal world, they take the entire thing down. And look how close they are to 16. The arrow is dodged out this time. Nobody has been hit. Nobody. Straight through the middle. Any moment now. Level 16. If they can get a kill here, they might even be able to end the game. Tracer is dead. 16 is on the board. And with level 16 and a 5-4 advantage, there is just no chance that this keep is making it. No, they're taking it down. Greymane is chunking it, and now the core is wide open. The talent advantage is there, but they fall back. They fall back for now. They're gonna play this safe. Better safe than sorry. They're not engaging into a core fight. Tracer is back a little bit too soon. You don't have enough time. And they just run the advantage that they have. With catapults pushing on both lanes now. Without pause, it's just too good of a position to risk here. Great spot for them. Fantastic spot. And now Gia, Zelia, and Dainu, they're going to meet up with the rest of them. Next objective is, of course, then also soon going to be announced. There's camps that they set up on every single lane. Blue team is in full control of the map. Hardos are in... yeah, I mean, they're in pretty much damage control mode. That's the only thing that they can do here. They're just sitting tight. They're trying to get the experience so they hit level 16. So they're letting the waves come to them. It's 26 seconds until the next Immortal spawns. And Dequaza is trying to time the camp so that he can push catapults and camps through the bot lane, creating another problem with a double camp that they're even setting up for the Hardos. Even if the Hardos hit level 16, they won't be able to simply ignore these lanes that are pushing against them. So it's more or less a checkmate position where they have to make a choice. Do they fight for the Immortal, or do they control the lanes and push them back? And with camps pushing on both of the lanes right now, there is already a massive lead for the blue team just as all of this starts. Zelia is looking... I mean, Zelia is pretty much looking to delay this a little bit. That's all that he's trying to do. Halftime show has already been reached, and it's a total disaster for the Hardos. They need to win a fight. They need to force the fight and win it, but the position of the Immortal alone is already difficult too. And here come the Hardos trying to defend, while at the bottom of the map, the lane is still pushing. We still got some of those Khazras. We still got a catapult. Catapults at the top too. The fight is starting. They're isolating Diablo. At least they're trying straight into the arrow from Hanzo. Is it enough? Is it enough? There's the Twilight Dream and the kill. But Hanzo died as well, and Dibbles had a stack, so he's going to be back in a second. This is a problem. Good connect from Copenhagen Imperius, but I don't think it's enough. That, on the other hand, is also another one that gets dropped. So Leeming dies. That's a good one. That might just be the one thing that saves them the game for now. Dequaza trying to escape, and he's able to get away, but also this is happening. Catapult is likely going to attack the middle, so that's another thing. And of course, we still have Greymane in play, and he is going for the Immortal. Azerite screwed up his position a bit, gets hit by the Immortal stun, and then killed. But this one is super low. Really low here. And the core is already getting attacked, and it's getting worse, because up here at the top, 3 catapults are making their way in. On the left side, the Immortal is still looking good. Nick is desperately trying to chunk this one down, but here comes the engage. They're moving in. Urel isolates it a bit. Dino could make a play for it, but they might have to sacrifice someone. And the core gets attacked. Guys, there's catapults on the core. It's Winion time. Zelia is dying. Hanzo is back. Triple catapult pressure. 89% on the core. The Immortal got taken, but they're going to get the Greymane kill. The Immortal just got claimed. Here's the kill for the red team. So 3 heroes are dead. 3 heroes are dead. The Immortal makes it down to the bottom of the map, but they're going to defend it. This one will be easy to defend against, simply because there's nobody they can push with it. They only have 3 heroes here, and what are they going to do? So, for now at least, the Hardos are safe to fight another day. Now, that's the good news. They are able to survive the Immortal. What's the bad news? The bad news is, first of all, that the core already lost 11 points. That's the first thing. The second one is, as the game continues to scale, with them not being able to take even a single fort down, the catapult pressure is gonna get worse, because the catapults are scaling. And once that the next set of catapults makes it towards the core, it's going to get absolutely destroyed. The big question is simply, can the Hardos somehow now gain a bit of map control and get a few more kills? We have 50,000 damage on Tracer. I mean, Nick is trying. He's doing his best here. 35,000 for Greymane. And, yeah, Anubarak is the only one that hasn't died yet. Bad Benny hasn't died even once. Experience, I mean, they nearly caught up. Yeah, they nearly caught up. But as you can already see, the lanes are pushing heavily. Now, this one, 19 seconds. They could take this too. They're trying to go for Tracer. But yeah, they can't quite claim it yet. Level 20 at least is going to be on an even playing field. There's the arrow though. Already, Urel. Oh, it actually connected with Urel here. She needs to ult up. Oh, yes. That was necessary. Without the ult here, this is over. And while they're fighting, the core gets attacked again. Look at this. The shields are falling so quickly. Whenever the Hardos take their eyes off the lanes for just a few seconds, the core is getting attacked. And now the camp got taken. That puts more pressure onto the top lane. This one is going to be claimed. It puts more pressure onto the bot lane. Again, it's these checkmate scenarios where they are just trying to make sure that there is no way for the Hardos to win the game anymore. And it's happening here again. The problem, again, it is that there's not a single fort has been taken out. There's no counter catapult pressure. If that would at least exist, if there would occasionally a catapult be spawning for the red team too, then they could slow this down, but they can't. Tal Rushas is in the level 20. They are ready on both sides. Look just on the minimap, the bot lane. It's gonna be insanity. Once that hits the core, the catapult is gonna rip it apart. That's why the Hardos are being so aggressive right now. They need to force this quickly. They don't have time. Team Wa has all the time in the world. They can delay this as long as they want because time is working in their favor. What has to happen now? Someone needs to defeat this, to defend, and that is triggering the attack from the blue team. They see two heroes at the bottom of the map. They know that there's not going to be a 5 versus 5 fight in the middle. Of course they're going to attack. And they're making the play right here for Malfurion, and he dies. That's exactly the way they need to play this. They're making no mistakes. Bad Benny dies. Malfurion is dead, and now they're going for the top kills. Hardos also getting dropped. Gia, they make the play for Nick, and he is dead too. This is game, everybody. Team Wa with another victory as they lock in the grand final. A 2-1 win for them. Perfect play towards the end. They made no mistakes. They played exactly the way that you have to play it if you're that far ahead in structures, and they win another tournament. The 5th tournament in a row that they win. Absolutely amazing. What a performance and what a dominant victory.